Hey guys, it's Jennifer Don Gabiola, and I feel inspired to share this topic today. How your success is determined by your ability to receive. And this is a big one, especially as women. Just based on my experience, I wanted to share some tips that I've learned just to help you create sustainable success. So let's talk about receiving. So we're as women, we're really good at giving, right? But receiving is the other side of that coin. We receive. We as we give, we're also meant to receive. If you're a really good and generous giver, you're also meant to be a generous receiver. So what I wanted to share was I wanted to break this down into three parts. So the first part is receiving yourself. So what I mean by that is you being able to receive and acknowledge who you are, honoring your self-worth, especially outside of what you do. That's something that I am constantly working on myself. It's really about you acknowledging your self-worth outside of what you do, knowing that you have self-worth even if you aren't actually working. Just understanding that your life has value and that you being here has a greater purpose, and for you to recognize that and you not trying to prove your worth, because that's something that I struggle with, is that I tend to do a lot, and sometimes I have to catch myself. Am I doing it because I really feel inspired to do it, or am I doing it because I feel like I have to constantly keep proving myself? So the first point is about receiving yourself, understanding, acknowledging, honoring that you have self-worth outside of what you do, and that what you do has significance. It matters. Your voice matters. What you share in the world matters. You were born here with purpose. So that's, to me, is the foundation of really creating sustainable success. When you have that strong foundation, understanding your value, your worth outside of anything outside of you, really, then it's really going to help you put yourself out there in a way that feels sustainable, that feels safe, and it feels true. So point one, receiving yourself. So the second part that builds upon this is receiving attention. So as introverts, it's kind of challenging sometimes to put yourself out there because it requires so much energy, right? As introverts, we always have to manage our energy, right? It takes a lot for us to put ourselves out there. So when I say receive attention, you have to create a sense of safety within yourself in order for you to consistently put yourself out there, because it takes a lot. And so that goes back to the first point about you recognizing your value outside of what you do, recognizing your value as a human being, and the rare gifts that you have, and then creating like boundaries, doing things every day to help you tune into yourself. Quiet time. As introverts, you need quiet time every day to recharge. So the whole part about receiving attention is about, it's tied to visibility, right? Because when you put yourself out there, you're receiving attention. And I found that why we tend to shy away from receiving attention is because we associate attention with something negative. Attention means something related to being criticized or judged or some sort of pain, right? And so that's why we tend to stay small. So what I want to encourage you to know, that you can reframe this idea that receiving can be healing. Receiving does not have to be something negative, right? It takes time to really reframe that. But that's the truth. And that's actually, based on my experience, that's how I've put myself out there consistently, is because in the beginning, it was really hard for me to consistently put myself out there because I felt so drained, and it felt unsafe. I felt like people were going to criticize me, judge me. It just felt like I had no control over how people were going to perceive me. But what I realized is that it takes me cultivating that sense of safety within myself, recognizing my value, and then understanding that I have no control over how people are going to perceive me. What's most important is the message that I'm being called to share, instead of me worrying about how I'm being perceived. So the message that's coming through me is more important. now than my fears of being judged or criticized, right? And that takes time, but I just wanted to tell you that it's possible, especially as an introvert. So I just wanted to reiterate that receiving attention can feel safe, and it's your responsibility to create that sense of safety, create boundaries, create whatever practices you need for you to feel deeply grounded in yourself. You feel safe within yourself, and to just really set an intention that receiving can be a positive thing. Receiving can be healing. Receiving attention can be a form of love. You know, when the right people are feeling you, you will receive love. You're not meant to resonate with everyone though, but for the right people, they'll feel you. So the first point was receiving yourself, and the second point was receiving attention. And again, for those of you just hopping on, what I'm talking about is creating success. It's really dependent on your ability to receive, right? And if you just joined, I saw some people hop on. Just comment in the chat here so I can know who's here. I love connecting with people, so just let me know who's here. And if you're having any questions, or if any of these tips resonate with you, let me know. Okay, so the last part on this receiving theme is receiving support. So receiving support is huge, because I had to learn the hard way that you're not meant to create success by yourself. I mean, you can try. I tried it, but what I realized when I was trying to always do things by myself, I would burden myself with taking on too much, because I kept replaying that story that I was trying to prove my worth, right? It was a lot. So what I realized, especially in the past 2 years, is that when I allow myself to receive support by mentors, by investing in courses, by allowing peers, colleagues, like-minded souls to help me, I can or delegate, expand my team. That actually makes my life easier, and that helps to build success in a way that is scalable, that is sustainable, that is life-affirming. It doesn't have to be so hard. And this is someone that's taken the hard road most of her life. So I just wanted to share that with you, that allow yourself to receive support. You know, if it feels right, like if you meet somebody or you come across some sort of resource that it feels like it could help you reach your next level, then even if it feels like it's outside your comfort zone, but it feels like a yes, like in your body, I encourage you to take a leap of faith and just say yes, because when you say yes to yourself, life is going to meet you halfway and help support your dreams, your goals. And I mean, I've had my business for 7 years now, and I've had to take major leaps of faith to continue growing and continue expanding my business. And it hasn't been easy, but what I've learned is you have to be present and engaged within yourself, and pay attention to the signs. Pay attention, whatever it is you're dreaming about or you're wanting, life is actually going to bring it to you. The question is, are you going to say yes? I promise you, whatever you've been asking for to make your life easier, support, whatever it is to support your dream, it's actually going to show up. But the question is, when it does show up, what are you going to do? Are you going to say yes and take a leap of faith and continue to trust that you're going to expand into a greater version of yourself? Or are you going to backtrack, back off, and go the other way? I'm not saying that to be critical. I'm just saying, that's just the reality. You know, we're meant to continually evolve. We're meant to always grow and change. We're not meant to stay small. You know, staying small, there is a place for that. So we create a sense of safety. I always like to associate that with a cocoon. Like if you're, when there's a caterpillar, right, going into a cocoon, it kind of retreats within itself to find this sense of safety and comfort. But then when it leaves the cocoon, it has to fly, right? And so it takes a leap of faith, though, because to transform from a caterpillar to, you know, this butterfly, it's a whole different way of operating, right? So I guess what I want to leave you like with this last tip is that just because you haven't proven to yourself that you haven't reached a certain level does not mean that you're not capable of that. That's something that I'm learning, is that I wouldn't take big steps because I didn't believe I could do it. But what I'm learning more and more is that it's not my job to prove to myself. It's the real work is having faith that I'm already equipped. God actually built me to expand into greater versions of myself, and the work is for me to have faith and to be present and to continue to expand and say yes when the opportunity presents itself, when the support presents itself. And not to worry about, oh, I don't know if I can do that. It's not just based on your abilities. It's based on really how you've been divinely built, having faith that you can expand into these greater versions of yourself, right? So, yeah, I hope these have been helpful. I really felt very compelled to share these tips to help you create sustainable success. And it's what I found, it's so much is determined by your success, is so much determined by your ability to receive yourself, which was point one. Receive attention and being visible, making sure that feels safe to you, and then receiving support, because life, God will always bring you the support, but the question is, are you going to say yes? So I hope this was helpful for you. I wanted to just let me know if you have any questions or comments. I wanted to remind you that tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Central, Thursday, we're going to do a live Q&A to answer any branding questions you may have, and also questions about our Quiet Voice Big Impact branding course. It's the annual course I run every year, and yeah, it's really I'm grateful and excited to welcome in a whole new group of students. It's really a wonderful experience to witness the students grow through this, because it's really about laying down the foundation that you need to build your brand in a way that feels good to you. It honors your instincts, it honors your energy, it helps you trust yourself, but then it gives you a clear plan to really build your brand in a way that feels aligned with you, and then really naturally attracts your ideal tribe and clients, so you can ultimately make your greatest impact. That's my intention. So the doors, I posted the call details in our Quiet Voice Big Impact community in the group, and if you attend live, one lucky winner is going to win a special prize. So be sure to attend live for the call tomorrow. And then also, the last thing was, just as a reminder, the doors are going to close for my Quiet Voice Big Impact annual course. It's going to close this Friday at 11:59 p.m. Central. So that's October 14th. So that's this Friday. If you have any questions, you can also email me at info@dawningsoul.com. And the link, if you didn't get a chance to check out all the details for the course, it's quietvoicebigimpact.com/signup2016. And I'll include the link in our replay here. But I hope this is helpful. I wasn't planning to do a video today, but I really felt like this was important to talk about receiving, because man, that's just a big part of I think it's really more important than taking action. It's really about the mindset you need in order to be able to continue to evolve and grow, and receiving is a huge part of growing and creating success, like on your own terms. If I could give myself advice 7 years ago when I started, it would be about really cultivating the mindset necessary to continue to grow, but not in a forceful way, like pushing myself how I used to do it, like kind of bullying myself, to really cultivate a way of being compassionate and kind with myself, but being brave, being present to the signs, being present to the support, and not overthinking things and worrying too much, and just trusting that I'm being guided and that this is a co-creative process. And when you trust that you're being supported by a force greater than yourself, it's game changing. And this is coming from someone who's a former control freak and perfectionist. So I hope I hope you're feeling what I'm saying, because like everything I'm sharing is from my personal experience, and I just want to, my intention is, I hope that it's helpful for you. So I think that's it. The tips were to receive yourself, receive attention, and receive support. That is how you're going to create success on your own terms, especially as an introvert, right? Laying down that soulful foundation for yourself. Every action that you take is going to feel easier and more deeply inspired and guided, divinely guided, when you take the time to really honor like who you are, recognize what you need, and giving yourself the ability to receive that. Okay, guys, I will go. I have another call, but just wanted to hop on and share. I felt like wearing these specs today. It's a bargain find. Like it? Yeah. So just let me know if you're watching the replay. If you have any questions, pop in the comments. But I hope this is really helpful for you, because that's my intention, that you give yourself the opportunity to receive what it is you need, so you can continue to grow and thrive. Okay, guys, I will talk to you soon. Bye.